and also Chase Richardson will go to the bench for a blow.
Sharon Mourning will sit into the ball game as LaSage will sit down. 4:41 to go here in the first half of play. A 7-point lead for John Hardin. And they have the basketball. Bland holds it up, gets the call from Artie Braden. Now sets it up, hands it off to Stallworth.
They got Bland back there in the middle of the floor around the foul line. If they can get the ball in there, he'll look to be offensive and go at it.
Adams with the basketball. Now it's Jermaine Smith, back to Adams. Adams to Mourning. Mourning, Stallworth over in the corner, cut off by Baldwin. Mourning to Bryson Adams. Jermaine Smith with it, now Adams with it. John taking their time here. Now Stallworth, three-pointer, in and out, no good. Here's the rebound stripped away from Bland and a foul on Etown.
Yeah, when they play Bland in there around the foul line, what he does is when the shot goes up, he crashes down from the elbow toward the rim, able to go to the right side. That time, ball comes off on the left, he's coming down on the left. Left-handed guy is able to get the rebound and get fouled.
Foul is on Warren Lively. That'll be his first, team fourth.
At the line with John Hardin, Brandon Bland, shooting 3.
Brandon Bland will go to the line where he'll have 2 free throws here. First free throw, no good.
A little bit of surprise as well as he's shooting it tonight. Really only took the one bad shot. Everything else seems to be going in.
About the only thing that has not worked tonight for Bland. He's got 10 points, including 2 3-point baskets. It's this one for his 11th point of the ball game.
They've got an 8-point lead, really trying to put a little bit of distance between themselves. Etown needs something on the offensive end here in the next couple possessions.
Walters with the basketball, gets it over in the corner to McVeigh. McVeigh, now Pettigrew with it. Pettigrew to Lively. Walters with it, left corner. Has got Adams on top of him. Walters tries to drive, cut off by Adams out front. It is Atcher with it, over to Lively. He'll try a 3, right side, got it.
Yeah, wide open look, and that's what happens when you swing the ball from side to side. They throw it from the left corner, top of the key, and if you swing it real quick to the right-hand side, the guy has plenty of time to get it off. 5
points now for Lively. Brings Etown to within 5, 26-21. Under 3.5 to go here in the second quarter. Adams with the basketball. Smith, Stallworth, Jermaine Smith, Bryson Adams. Working it around, Smith with it, kicks it over to Stallworth. Stallworth, Jermaine Smith. Bulldogs content to work it around the perimeter at this point. Jermaine Smith now kicks it back to Adams. Down low, here's Bland, pull-up jumper, in and out, no good. Pettigrew with a rebound for Etown.
That's the shot that they were working for, though. They swung the ball side to side 5 or 6 times, wanting to get it in there in that elbow.
Walters tries a 3 straight away. That's an air ball. Baldwin tries to save it. Not in time.
Yeah, Walters wiping his hands off like it slipped, but that one's 3 foot short.
Comes back to John Hardin. 2:45 to go here in the first half. As Jermaine Smith awaiting the basketball. Official down here on the John Hardin bench.
Leading some credence to Walters wiping his hands off. They wiped the ball off also after the real short 3-point attempt.
9th time in the last 2 years these teams have met.
Mourning comes over and checks with Coach Braden. Coach Braden really orchestrating a good offensive set every time down the floor. The guys are doing a good job of looking to the coach for some direction.
Stallworth kicks it back out to Smith. Now Mourning takes the basketball. Mourning down low. Here's Stallworth. He puts it up short. Tipped up in the air. Pettigrew comes down with it. Nice look down low. Stallworth just couldn't put it in.
Great pass. Got to make that shot.
Here's Atcher with it. Kicks it out to Lively. Lively drives the paint. Now Walters with it. Out front to Atcher. Atcher travels and goes back to John Hardin.
Whistle blows at the time he shuffles his feet. Good call. No hesitation by the referee. He shuffled them before he took off.
Ricky Price will come back into the ball game as Brandon Bland will sit down.
You see the senior leadership on the floor by John Hardin, knowing that they need a good set every time down the floor, want to get something positive on the offensive end, listening to the coach, responding to what's going on. Jaron Mourning over here again, kind of checking it out. Where do you want us? How do you want us set up?
Coming down to 2 minutes to go here in the quarter. Smith with the basketball, kicks it over. Price now Stallworth, 3 from the left corner. This one good.
Well, they're making the threes off the baseline tonight. Bland with a couple. Stallworth with one. Bryson Adams has made a couple out near the top of the key or just above the elbow there, so they're knocking in the threes.
5 for Stallworth in this ball game. 29-21 lead for John Hardin. Picking up with a man-to-man. Actually, check that more of a zone here. Hatcher to Pettigrew. Pettigrew now lively takes it over to Walters. Walters in the left corner. Now out front, Baldwin with it. Baldwin, cross court, lively. And they'll hold it up. Here's Baldwin, free throw line. They're looking down low for Pettigrew. Spinning, Baldwin puts up the short jumper, too strong. Pettigrew on the miss, puts it back in.
Yeah, Pettigrew might have got away with a little left arm push to get a little bit of space off Mace Stallworth there, although they're both bumping pretty good. Once Stephon catches it there, Pettigrew, he's going to stick it in.
8 for Pettigrew in the ball game, 29-23. John Hardin with the basketball on the 6-point lead. Three-pointer bluffed by Adams, picked off by Walters, trying to rescue it. Out of bounds, and I think we got a foul on Jermaine Smith.
Yeah, I think so. You got a bump on Walters coming out here. Adams right there. You either got to decide, either shoot that ball or don't. But if not, then refocus, see where the defense is before you kick it out.
His first team 7, and that means bonus situation for Elizabethtown. A minute 2 to go here in the first half. 29-23. Walters, first attempt of the night.
Walters played 12 minutes in the district final last time these two met and didn't take a free throw, so there's his first attempt.
First point of the ball game for Walters. Etown is now 5 of 5 from the line.
John Hardin gets it out to about 8. Etown comes right back and is hanging around the 5, 6, 7, 8 margin right now.
Just staying in the periphery, if you will, as Walters hits the second free throw. Mike Williams, number 20, checks into the lineup for Elizabethtown. Williams, a 5'11 senior.
Flashback to a week ago, Lee, or 8 days ago in the district finals, and John Hardin took a 5-point lead to the half. They were up 35-30 at the half. Etown stormed back there late in that ball game to get the win. They end up winning 59-52 just 8 days ago. So this group, they're playing about once a week these days.
Etown takes a 30-second timeout. 29-25 is the score, a 4-point lead for John Hardin. I was going to be ready to mention a moment ago, this is the 9th time now in the last 2 seasons these teams have met. Of course, 5th time tonight, 4 times last year, splitting both games last year, both holding home court. John Hardin winning the district championship, Elizabethtown winning the regional championship.
And oddly enough, Lee, neither team held home court this year as they both broke long winning streaks, home court winning streaks of the other team. Etown was able to win at King of the Bluegrass and also in the district finals down at Central Hardin. John Hardin would love to repay that favor. Last year, John Hardin won the district and Etown won the region finals. They'd like to turn it around if you're John Hardin this year.
And right now, John Hardin with a 4-point lead with a minute 2 to go.
Got 6. John Hardin's got 6 on the floor. At least the referees catch it before they get it in bounds.
As some confusion now, they're getting some players set up here. Jermaine Smith will inbound as Etown now comes up with a little full court pressure here in the last minute of this first half.
Yeah, John Hardin looking for the big advantage there, playing with an extra guy.
They don't allow that, though. That's considered bad form in basketball.
Got 3 referees on the ball right there. It's their job to count coming out of timeouts and out of quarter breaks. So good job by these guys.
Last minute to go here in the first half. John with a 4-point lead and the basketball. Jaron Morning with it. Morning drives, kicks it over in the corner. Adams back out front to Stallworth. Will hand it off to Bryson Adams. Mike Williams guarding him for Elizabethtown. Adams driving to the paint and is fouled.
Yeah, once you get that shoulder by, you keep going until somebody stops you. Adams got his shoulder by Williams and was going all the way to the hole until he gets bumped.
Williams with his first foul of the ball game. Team 5th on Elizabethtown as Chase Richardson comes into the ball game. Mike Williams will sit down as Charlie Baldwin will inbound it for Elizabethtown. 31.5 seconds to go here in the half. Well, check that John Hardin basketball as Baldwin went to the bench. Looking at Stallworth, bluffs the 3. Richardson on top of him, now Adams with it.
Etown's gone man-to-man.
Finally coming out of that 1-3-1. Stallworth with the basketball. Smith. Here's Adams with it. Down to 10 seconds to go here in the quarter. Land driving. Down to 5 seconds. 4. Adams kicks it over in the corner. Morning, a 3-pointer on the way is an air ball. And the first half has come to an end.
Not great execution there that last possession lead by John Hardin. Not real good awareness. Bland had a chance to make a move and fumbled the ball. Kicked it over to Stallworth. I thought maybe he would go ahead and try to go to the basket right there. They really get not a very good shot right there at the end of the half.
And the first half is in the books. And John Hardin leads it over Elizabethtown in this 5th Region Championship game by the score of 29-25. We've only had one tie in the ball game. That was at 2. It has been John Hardin with the lead the entire way from there. They led it at the end of the first quarter by the count of 18-12. Had the lead up to as many as 8 here in the quarter at 26-18. Also at 29-21, but Elizabethtown has cut it back down to just 4 here at the midway point at 29-25. Taking a look at the unofficial first half scoring. First for John Hardin, it is Brandon Bland with 11 points at halftime. 1 of 2 from the line, a couple of field goals, and 2 3-pointers to account for his scoring in this ball game. 5 points in the ball game, DeMay Stallworth. 6 points going to Bryson Adams. 4 points to Greg Lesage. 3 points to Ricky Price. And that's the scoring for John Hardin here in the first half. Across the way for Elizabethtown, being led in scoring right now by Stefan Pettigrew. He has 8 points in the ball game. You get 5 points to Warren Lively, 4 points to Dustin McVeigh, and 2 points each to Todd Atcher, Charlie Baldwin, Chase Richardson, and Reed Walters. That's the scoring for Elizabethtown here in the first half as they trail it to John Hardin 29-25. Hugh O'Brien, Bulldogs got out to the early lead and have been able to control tempo, and that's why they have this 4-point lead.
Yeah, and I think John Hardin's probably got the score where they like it. You know, we're on a pace for about 60-50, so somewhere in below the 60s. We talked about the significance of that number every time we've had these two teams this year. I think they like the pace. Bland was real aggressive offensively there in the first quarter, got them a lead, and they've been able to maintain that lead all the way through the first half.
29-25 is the halftime score in this boys regional championship game. John Hardin leading Elizabethtown. Both teams back out on the floor. Second half about to get underway in this regional championship game. Right now, John Hardin with the better of it, 29-25 over Elizabethtown. Along with Hugh O'Brien, this is Lee Bramlett. Quick look at the foul situation for these two teams. John Hardin probably a little more pronounced. 3 players with 2 personals. Ricky Price, Greg Lesage, and Bryson Adams each with 2. Across the way for Elizabethtown, 5 players with 1 personal each.
Yeah, but John Hardin, a couple of those guys got 2 fouls in the first quarter, Lee, so they did a good job of managing their team fouls and, you know, with some subs and back and forth in and out of the lineup, keeping those guys out of what you'd call significant trouble. As long as you're under 3 going to the second half, you're in pretty good shape.
Quick revisit of the keys of the first half. John Hardin is controlling tempo in this ball game. They are keeping this a low-scoring game. We talked about that also, the 60 being the magic number. Right now it's on a pace 59 to somewhere in the mid to upper 50s.
Yeah, and Coach Brady, you know, the team is looking over here to the bench to see how they want to run things. A lot of times they get the rebound and they look up, but when they look to him, he's got his hands up, want to slow down. They're actually getting a play call, or at least where they want people on the offensive set, most possessions coming down the floor. So that's taking some time off the clock, which also holds the score down some.
For Elizabethtown, we talked about Todd Atcher having to step up, has had a good trend of stepping up in these games with John Hardin, although he too has been held in check tonight, only 2 points in the first half.
Yeah, but some other guys have stepped up. You know, Lively made a big 3 outside, another basket, so you got some guys stepping up. And when they really chase Atcher, and which, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. John Hardin's really chasing him to the perimeter. If they're going to do that, some other guys are going to get some open looks. They're going to have to capitalize for Etown.
We talked about the bench buying time for John Hardin, and that has been the case. Bryson Adams and Jermaine Smith scoring in a couple of cases. Adams with a couple of 3-pointers. Smith buying time for the interior players that he can run in. Jaron Morning, Brandon Bland, Greg Lesage, and buy them a couple of minutes of time on the bench here.
Well, Morning actually going to get the start here in the second half. Such a great senior veteran leader kind of guy on the floor. Keeps the team really calm, and that's that quarterback mentality from the football season where they had all that success. He carries that over to the basketball floor. He's a great leader, and Coach Brady knows that, going to give him a start here.
And we should note, every time the fans stand up, especially in those corners, it gets to be a little dicey. We apologize in advance for that. A packed house here again. Nearly every seat that has line of sight of the court is packed here at Nelson County High School for this 5th Region Championship game. This is probably, having been here to all the sessions, this is probably the biggest crowd of this tournament.
There's a guy sitting here behind me, and they look like probably from the way he talked, been to a lot of games over the course of years. He says, I don't remember there ever being this many people in this gym.
But they are here tonight to watch this regional championship game, the 5th meeting between the John Hardin Bulldogs and the Elizabethtown Panthers. Along with Hugh O'Brien, this is Lee Bramlett. And it is John Hardin basketball as they find the stage down underneath. Basket good on the foul.
Great